catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Without further ado, I'm going to remove this out of the way so I can say hello. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Once again, I'm so excited to introduce to you Miss Sheila Redell. I know that I see her in the waiting room, so I'm not going to keep her waiting too much longer. I want you to help me welcome Sheila, ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause as we bring her. Sheila, are you there? Hey! You're muted.
Hello.
Hi, how
Hi,
are you?
Crystal.
How are you? We
Yes,
are
I'm
here. We are
We
here.
are
I'm so
here.
excited because we are here. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
All right, your hair looks pretty. You're sparkling and everything. So that's a
Thank
beautiful
you.
thing. Move it out of your left eye so we can see that beautiful face and everybody can see who you are. Sheila, I am so honored that you are allowing me to share your story here because since I met you, I have watched you evolve. So this is an honor to me. So I want to first start by saying thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey. Evolve is one of my favorite words. And
Yes. And you being the artist that you are, we know that you know words, but let me just do this. There are some people that may not know who Sheila Redell is. They may not have heard of Keeping It Real with Sheila Redell. They may not be on Instagram or on social media. So I would love for you to just do me a favor and start out for a quick moment and take us back. I always like to ask our guests to take us way back to the childhood days. Take us back to those days when you were a little girl so we can let the people understand who is Sheila Redell and let them know who the baby was. Like Sheila when she was at this stage right here, or
Yeah.
even when she was at this stage right here,
Yeah.
those days, and tell us who is Sheila Redell.
Well, I am Sheila Redell. I am from San Francisco, California, born September 15th, 1984, which puts me at 41 years old now. Years young, I feel like I'm a young spirit. And I grew up in the 80s. And at the time, my mother was in the Tenderloin of San Francisco, which is a pretty rough area, and was very drug infested at that time. And she ended up dealing with substance abuse, and I was taken away at age 3. So after being taken away, the first 2 homes I went to, first was a group home, which was pretty traumatizing going there, and dealt with abuse physically from other foster homes. And then at age 5, I moved into my forever home, and that was with my mother, who just happens to be Caucasian. So growing up, I had a bit of a huge identity crisis growing up, and that was a big part of my childhood, was
Well, let
dealing
me
with
ask you
that.
this. Let me ask you this, since you brought that up, and thank you so much again for your transparency. There may be some parents out here, or maybe some children who have gone through similar steps where they've gone in and out of foster care and not been with their parents. Looking back on hindsight, now that you're a mother, and we'll talk about your child and how you got there, but just from that perspective, any advice to a parent who may have a child that is going to be placed into care of someone else? Is there anything that you would like to share that you think would be helpful to a parent who may be trying to make that decision or already have done that so that they can kind of help their child to have a healthy, balanced life while they go through this process?
Just make sure to stay in touch, make sure your child feels loved and cared for, and communicate with them. Um, One of the biggest things that would hurt me was like missed visits, when I would get all ready and prepared to see my mom and she wouldn't be able to make it. But because of the things she was dealing with, it would interfere with her ability to always show up. So I would say just to show up as much as you can, and show that just because you may be physically separated doesn't mean that your spirits and your love and your bond isn't still there.
That's really, really good because as a child, a lot of times that's all they needed is that physical touch and to know someone is there, you know. And so, when did you learn that you actually was in the care of someone else, or did they tell you up front? Because I think sometimes in some families, people don't know; they kind of keep it from the child, and that's going to be my other question. Do you
Yeah.
it's better not to tell them, or do you think it's better to tell them?
Yeah, definitely tell them. I was just one day not picked up from the way I remember it. I was so little, I don't even know if it's a true memory or if I'm creating it, but I just remember not being picked up from daycare and ending up in a different home when I was, like I said, around the age of 3. So
Yes.
it's hard to say whether you can remember traumatic incidents like that or if it's a story that I've, created, but that's pretty much how I remember it. Is that, just one
Okay.
day mommy didn't come get me.
Now, as you got older, did you deal with that as you began to think about it, as you went into the elementary, junior high years? How did you cope with that as you realized what was happening and that you were in the system this way? What did you do? Uh, and how did you handle it well?
I was very much anti-drug. I grew up taking away my friends' cigarettes from them when I would see a friend smoking. I would tell my friends to quit smoking weed. Like, I was very much anti that because I associated with drug use as why my mom couldn't keep me as a mother. So I was actually a very like rule abiding child and teenager. And then as I got older into teens, I started experimenting more. But my first poem I ever wrote was about the foster care system
Oh,
and
wow.
what it was like being taken away from the home, and basically saying that, I guess at the end of it, I got these scholarships, which helped me pay for college. So I'm grateful for that. But, sometimes even as an adult, I wonder what I would have been like if I was raised by my mom. Like who were they to say that she couldn't have did it or cleaned up her act if she had her kids or whatever, because my brother was raised by her, one of my brothers, two of them actually, but one that I'm able to communicate with. And he ended up doing the best out of all of us. You know what I mean? As far as on paper, has his own house, started a family, married the woman. This is the one that, so I'm like, maybe that adversity breeds greatness too. Like I just,
Yes, yes.
you
And I
know,
know you shared a few pictures. Is one of those pictures with your brother? I know there's a picture that let me see. Let me look at this picture.
that
That's
one, that's the one. He came to my high school graduation, and he was little there. I think he was probably only about 8. But yes, he definitely looked
wow.
up to me
How about
growing up.
who's this in this picture?
This is my brother's, the one you just saw when he was even more little, and then the brother that's 4 years older than him, David, and then that's me in the glasses and my mom.
Okay, okay. And so that's really, really good because I know you shared some special pictures. And so, is that the one that you went to his wedding not too long ago? One of these?
Yes, yes, the smaller one.
Yes, and that was beautiful.
Terrell. Yeah,
Beautiful.
that was special. That was so special to me.
Yeah, and so I know that y'all still have a bond because I saw that. And you mentioned a couple of, I know you growing up, you had some great friends because you said some, who is this right here? This is
That's my
mom.
mother.
And you favor her, Sheila.
Yeah, that's mom. A lot of people say that. They used to call me Little Brenda. That was her name. And when I first moved back to San Francisco as an adult and I hadn't really been around the hood, they saw me and they would recognize me as her daughter before they even knew, because we looked so much alike and had some of the same mannerisms.
Yes, yes. Well, that's good. That's special. And I know that in your mind, you miss some of the things that you didn't get the opportunity to do. Some of the moments. I know we've shared stories about that, but I want to tell you that you favor her, and
And
you were blessed. You brought you in the world, so that's a beautiful thing. Now, this picture right here that you showed me, is this Zion?
that's Zion at my delivery, and my foster mom. And well, I really call her mom, period, because she had me since 5 and really, raised me. And then my birth mother is there too. And just having them, welcome Zion into the world with me.
So this is special because they're both there.
Yeah, because they're both there. So it was really sentimental. And that was actually the last day that I ever saw my mom alive, was for the birth of my daughter. So,
Wow. That is a lot to endure. And I'm glad that you said you call her your mom because she raised you. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you're still in communication with her now, right?
yeah, of course, that's who's I spending time with this weekend. So I can do
Excellent.
things like this.
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, it's good to know that you had this moment that she was able to see her, and I'm sure she's watching over you right now, definitely, and watching over Zion. And Zion started to grow up. I see this picture of you with her as she's
Yeah,
growing up, and so that's
yeah.
a beautiful thing. How did you feel when you found out that you were pregnant and you were going to have this baby? Talk to us about that for a moment. What was going on in your life when you found out you were pregnant? Where were you? How old were you? And what was happening in your life then?
I was about 33. I was going through the what you call rock bottom. I was at the lowest level of, what some people might call the lowest level of society. I was in the streets with the homeless, doing drugs, being reckless, careless with my body. very much addicted to substances. And I was so overjoyed when I got pregnant because I just remember thinking, thank you, God, I have a reason to get out of this lifestyle. And it didn't happen overnight, but I did end up going into treatment, by the time I was 3 months pregnant, and stayed in treatment the whole time. And it was called Epiphany Center in San Francisco. If anybody, knows anyone that needs help that's in that area. But it was a very, very good program with a group of maybe 12 women, and we would cook for each other, go to groups, classes, things like that. So Zion, which is the place where God went to pray, Jesus, that's in the Bible comes up so much with Zion. And for me,
Wow.
I feel like she was like how God came and, provided an opportunity for another life. Because I was living what I call like a death style. There was no hope in where I was going, but I always kept my spirit. I was always very lighthearted. I never let like drugs harden my personality. I was just as carefree and bubbly and doing poems for the homeless and dancing and just a light in the darkness. But I knew that I couldn't stay there. And sometimes I wonder if I only went through that to share my experience and help other people
Yes.
understand it better and get them out of it too. Because it's not easy to get out of. If you look at the statistics, a lot of people don't come back from methamphetamines and the
So let
other.
me share with you. Let me share with you on that note right there. Yes, because you remember I called you. I had a situation with a person in another area that was living in Hawaii, and you helped me tremendously to recognize and to know exactly how to deal with him and the things to do. So when you said maybe I went through that to help others, I would say that's definitely true because you were very helpful to me and it helped me to understand what he was going through and to recognize it. And you gave me a lot of great pointers. So yes, we do go through things sometimes, and they say what doesn't break us will make us stronger.
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
sure that it made you stronger. Now, I remember you sharing that you would go there and dance and do some stuff. Have you ever gone back there? Have you ever gone back there since you?
No, I never went back. And it's interesting because I was in San Francisco during my recovery. And one of the last conversations I had with my mom was her saying she wanted to get clean and finally clean up. And she was only 59 when she passed. And she said she was afraid that if she stopped doing the drugs, it would shock her and something might happen to her. But I remember she offered to give me some money, so, a few $100s, and said to come to her house. And I never went to go get the money because I was so afraid to go back to where I used to do the drugs at. And I have walked past the street before and kind of hurry up and get past, but I'd be flooded with memories. And I kind of regret it, like that I never went and saw her again after that. But there was a reason. I really
Yes,
didn't want to relapse.
yes, yes.
And
It was we did. And guess what? We're so proud of you because you did it. You came through that test, and everybody goes through ups and everybody goes through downs, but you did it. You made it out of there. Now, if there was anything that you could say about the people, I do recall us having a conversation and the people that you met there, and a lot of times people think it's a certain kind of person that goes through this. And I always say, listen, anybody can fall down, anybody can go through these changes. What do you want people to know about people who wind up going through addiction? It's no particular kind of person that goes through addiction. Am I
yeah, a lot of times it's someone that's been brokenhearted. I would say that a lot of times, if you look behind the face of addiction, you'll see somebody with a really broken heart that maybe didn't know how to process it, or maybe started to dislike themselves to the point where they didn't really care about what they were doing to themselves. And a lot of times, the person that introduces the drug is a loved one that they trust. So, whether it be a boyfriend, for me, it was a romantic partner that first introduced me to crystal meth. And it was someone that I thought I knew, and I trusted, and I liked them. I figured if they did it sometimes and they were okay and they seemed like a well-to-do person, well, maybe I could try it, but we didn't have the same, DNA chemistry. So what could be recreational for him wasn't recreational for me. So there's that. And also, yeah, different things don't work for different people. So it may look like other people have it together and they might be able to use a little bit of cocaine and still go to their business meeting and nobody notices it, but other people end up losing everything. But eventually it all can crumble. And for me, I just I saw the humanity in the streets, the way people took care of me, the way people would offer their tent to keep me out of the streets. I mean, we were still on the streets, but there was
Right.
shelter. They had music playing. There was always food. The nuns would feed us. They'd always have big meals for breakfast and lunch. So in San Francisco, the homeless are really well taken care of to the point where you almost see why they live on the streets
Yes.
because they're so well taken care of. The weather isn't too bad out there. So a lot of people from all across the United States came to San Francisco as a place where they could live outside rent free, without the overhead of bills and things like that. So, people may look down on them or feel pity, but honestly, we were having the time of our lives in a way, but
Wow.
not that I would ever want to go back to that. But there
Yeah.
was a lot of fun and a lot of community, and it felt like they embraced you almost more than how, people in what you might call average society or whatever will embrace. Like most people won't just invite you into their homes, but the tent was like someone's home and they would invite you in to share a moment. A lot of times it was over shared drug use, but it was still like a communal setting. So it wasn't all like sad and gloomy and dark and dangerous. Like, I mean, it was probably dangerous, but
Y'all didn't feel the danger because
I
you.
didn't feel the day. We was kicking it. We was kicking it. We was high. We was laughing. We was talking.
Yes, yes.
You know.
Now, I know just recently in California in Skid Row, a young lady passed away who Shirley Raines, who was
Yes,
very
I
known
followed
for
her.
helping people out there on Skid Row. I've been to Skid Row before. I passed through it the year that I went to the BET Awards. I stopped over there in that right in that very same area, and so um, she was a person that gave back. And it's interesting because I'm watching what a lot of people are doing because of what she started. A lot of people are continuing to work in her honor.
That's
So you said
amazing.
that, and I saw you commented. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah, I used to watch her lives when she was out there giving out the food and the toiletries and things like that. So I used to follow her probably a few years back. I hadn't seen her recently, but I don't know if she had been sick for a while, but I used to watch her. I did for sure. And I watched her around the time that I had a real short haircut. So I remember looking at how she had it
Wow.
on and liking that. But yeah, and she always had the popping eyelashes and her makeup done and looked good and, just had a fun personality, was witty with them, and I would love to start doing outreach at some point and going back to where I came from and, sowing seeds and see if I could start some sort of program or, just do my own documentary just to give more insight on their life and make it more where they're seen as a human, not the
Yes. Yes.
homeless person,
Yes.
and take the stigmatism and the labeling. I like to say houseless,
Yes.
instead of homeless.
Yes. And I was going to ask you, do you really think that made a difference when she was going out there and doing the makeovers? I mean, not just the feeding, but she was washing their hair, doing that. I mean, I can only imagine how that had made them feel.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely made them feel better. I know that a lot of times showering can be different, and you may end up going in a bathroom and just doing bird baths. So to be able to have, I know in San Francisco they had the mobile showers, so I'm sure in LA they had that where they had the vans or the trucks that had showers built into them or the motorhome showers. So it's definitely important to feel good and look good. And like I said, some of the people had their tents decked out, and made it very homey, had beds in there, blow up mattresses, little nightstands, like made it their
Yeah.
own home, you know.
And you know what? In North Carolina, we have an area right off the belt line, and I can't think of what they call it, but there it's like a subdivision of tents.
Hmm.
And these individuals, because I do some community work sometime in the community, and a young lady that I work with, she told me, she said, Crystal, there are many of them that won't leave. They can
Yeah.
leave, but they choose to stay.
Yeah, because why
Sometimes,
would you go if you have everything you need and you don't have to pay a huge overhead of rent? Like you're paying for a box. Like these are glamorized boxes that, I mean, I know it's nice to have a house and it's great to have it. But if you think about it, when we originally were here, as Native Americans, we were building teepees. So they have the right idea. They have the original plan. God didn't make up houses. People designed houses, but originally people were living in huts and, teepees and all
wow,
that. Not saying we have to go that far as a whole society, but if you think about spirit wise and overhead, the homeless people are really living by the faith of God. Like they're basically dependent on people and the kindness of others to supply their needs in a sense. So,
wow.
and they're at the lowest, but they end up getting the fruits of people's waste. So
Yes,
the stuff that people throw away, you know how many nice outfits? I had the flyest gears when I was going through the streets of San Francisco and looking at
wow.
all that stuff that got put out on the curb because they had to leave because the rent was so high and started getting gentrified and people couldn't afford to live in San Francisco. So people would have to move out of their house quick. And it's
Yes.
just tons of stuff on the curb. And
You know,
honey,
they used to say, what's the saying they would say? A one man's trash is another
another
man's
man's
treasure.
treasure. Oh, and I had an abundance of treasure. I'm talking about Manolo Blahnik shoes, high price stuff, like outside on the curb because someone couldn't take it with them. So, and it is not to glamorize being on the streets. It's just
Right,
to
right.
say
I
that
understand.
it wasn't all a pity.
I
Like
understand.
I had it, I was out there for a reason. These people are out here for a reason. They're having what they think is a knee slapping good time, you know, and they're not having to be stuck with bills. There's no water bill. There's no light bill. there's,
Wow.
you know,
And I know you took all of this and you put it in a book, and we'll talk about that book. I know you have a book, Charm Through Adversity, and we're going to talk about how people can get that book and do pre-orders. But I want to go back to something you said before. I want to thank all of y'all watching. Leave us a comment and let us know where you're chiming in from, whether it's YouTube, Instagram. Say hello to Sheila so she knows you're watching. Let me ask you this, Sheila. You said you wrote your first poem when you were going through this. Do you still know that poem?
I know. Let me see if it can come to me, or at least basically the idea was Child Protective Services. At the age of 3, you came in and took what meant most to me: my mother, my identity. I was a black seed now taken away to face brutality from others that did not care for me, strangers. And you placed me in a situation that had danger. Why couldn't you just leave me with my mother? And then as I grow up, I'm placed with a Caucasian woman who is not a reflection of my face, constantly confused, listening to other views, like you're not a white girl, but you act like you might be. So I developed this identity crisis, persist, trying to figure out where I fit. And the foster care system probably didn't mean it, probably couldn't see it, but I believe that there was a mission to dismantle the Black family through crack cocaine in the community. And then the foster care system comes and takes these kids out of custody. It's a cycle, can't you see? But I thank God for the experience that I've had because it shaped the person that I am. And I've got scholarships upon scholarships. And for that, I am glad. And, and that's the poem.
Wow. And you did that at how old?
I did that at 17, senior year. And it was my first spoken word performance.
Wow.
And I'm glad that you brought that up. I freestyled some,
Yes.
because I don't remember everything, but that
Yes.
was the gist of the poem, basically saying that, the crack epidemic, people would suspect that it may have been planned and that they wanted people strung out like that, especially after all the work that the Black Panthers and the civil rights leaders were doing. So how better to break up the community by having the Black men go to jail and the Black women out in the streets not being able to, raise their kids properly and then come in and take the kids. So now there's money in the system too, but we won't go there. But the point is, that was my first poem and my introductory to therapeutic poetry is what I tend to do.
Yes, you do. You do. And sometimes you do things. It's amazing how when you are going through something, how you can come up with something so quickly off the top of your head. Now, you've been known for keeping it real. They call it keeping it real with Sheila Redell. Where did that name come from? And
Well,
when did you get that name?
well, in 2011, 2012, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I started going out more often and performing. And I had always been performing from the time that I got out of high school to going to college and doing spoken word places. But I was always very transparent and, always kept it real, I guess you could say. And, my last name is Foster. And Sheila Foster just didn't have the same ring to it. And it was very, kind of a common name. You could Google Sheila Foster and other people pop up. But my middle name is Redell. And my mom said that that was the prettiest girl in her elementary school when she was in kindergarten. And she always wanted a daughter named Redell. And so to me, the name brought on more special meaning because I didn't like it when I was little. And then when she told me what it meant to her, I wanted to own it. So I made that the name, and it just had such a cool ring to it, like keeping it real with Sheila Redell.
Yes.
And it kind of just rolls off the tongue. And even though it's long, to me, it's just like almost like a micro poem, like just keeping it real with Sheila Redell.
And then you created a show back in 2012, 2013 while you've been in San Francisco, Central Valley Talk Show.
Yeah, Fresno, California, which is in between San Francisco and LA. And I was in heaven. I went on Craigslist and there was an advertisement and said, if you would like to do your own talk show on our network, please call such and such number, ask for Chuck Leonard. And I called and I was down at that studio preparing for my first show. All I had to do was get $100 worth of sponsorship. I think it was like $25 a spot. And my first sponsors were my mom and, my ex-boyfriend at the time's ex-wife sponsored me.
Well, I have that show here, ladies and gentlemen. I literally have that show here, and I went and pulled it up online because this girl, man, she was amazing. I mean, when I saw this, I said, this guy's amazing. I want y'all to see just a clip of how she did here. Let me see if I can go back and let you see her, how she did. I'm go to a certain part here. I want to skip some of this. And this girl was good. She was really good.
Me, I'm from Kingston, Jamaica.
I like Jamaican.
Yes.
And you were doing the voices back then, Sheila.
Oh yeah. I've been at it for a while.
Oh,
like I said,
goodness.
when my dreams come true, I'm gonna say I earned it because I've been
Yes.
at it for a
Okay. So
while.
Let's look at you.
Say,
I love your accent.
you love my accent.
We're-
Me are from Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, yeah. I'm always
Yes.
like Jamaican.
Yes, me a cousin with Bob Marley. You know him?
Yeah.
Yes, Rihanna.
Yeah. Oh.
She from Barbados, but I'm half Barbadian too.
No.
Yes.
I'm glad you got your own show.
Yes.
They must have like funded it for you.
Yeah, no, you know what? They're not the only stars that are in my family, okay? Now, first of all, before you tell me about your problems, me, I need to put my blasted makeup on. You see, me don't have nothing on my face. Me got my eyelashes messed up. I got eyeshadow all upon my eyes, okay?
Okay.
Now, my face is more important than your problem.
Okay.
But what is your astrological sign again? I can forget.
I'm a Libra.
Oh, you're a Libra. Oh, you're so balanced. You think you're so perfect.
Yeah.
You think you're just a sore tipsy-tatsy. You never have a problem with anything. I don't like a Libra.
You don't like Libras.
No, I'm a Virgo. Right before you, better than you. Like Beyonce.
Okay. Well, I need some help, and I'm
Well,
here.
okay. Well,
They said you were the best, and I found you
I
on
am the best,
Craigslist, and
but
I paid you $50, and I want to know what. I want some good advice here.
you know what? How am I gonna be good to you when I don't feel like I look good? If Miss Sheila,
Now, who is this young lady?
She was another person that had her own show on the network as well. So we were like cross promoting each other.
Oh,
With both of our first episodes.
oh, wow. This is so good. I love this.
still don't feel like she look good, how's she gonna be confident upon you as a reading?
You got to get ready at home.
Listen, you see my color of my skin, man. You think I'm on time? You think I was born to be on time? No, I was born to be late. Born to be great, born
Okay.
to be late.
All right.
You better understand
I just need your advice. Let's just go. for
Okay,
it.
come on. Okay, right. What's his blasted sign?
He is a Leo.
Ah, Leo, man. That's a grand man. That's a very big ego. Is he very arrogant?
Oh,
So this is amazing. And I saw another piece. We're going to come back to it. I just wanted y'all to see. You have to go check it out. If you go to YouTube, what did you enjoy the most about that whole time of your life when your dream came true? You started this show.
Oh man, I just felt like I could really do it. I was building a name for myself. People really liked the show. They were excited about it. I had the barbecue sauce song right around that time. I had just wrote that, and I used to go to all the open mics in Fresno and go perform it, and people really received it to the point where I would walk down the street and people be like, that's the girl that sings the barbecue sauce song. So I really thought I was going to make it. Like, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, because that show is really like a Saturday Night Live. Like I look
and I'm like, I wish Saturday Night Live would just like scroll through YouTube and see it and be like, I wonder where that girl is, and ask me to come audition, because I really felt like I had it with the characters, the improv, the songs, you know, like all those little silly parody songs that they do on SNL. I'd be right there in the green room with them, you know, writing down real quick great ideas, you know.
So you said something about a barbecue sauce song. Some people don't know about what that is. Talk to us about that, because I'm gonna tell you something. I believe that you could write a jingle for one of these restaurants, you know, and I believe you still need to send that song to different companies who make barbecue sauce. But I want you to take a moment and just give us the barbecue sauce song. Can you do that for us today?
I can do a little bit of it.
Just a little bit. Okay. Just give us a little sample. I'm gonna put the camera on for a little bit.
Okay, let me get into it. Barbecue sauce on everything. Hey, barbecue sauce makes my heart sing. Hey, barbecue sauce on everything. Barbecue sauce makes my heart sing. Hey, barbecue sauce is on my chicken wing. Yes, barbecue sauce is on my onion ring. Yes, barbecue sauce is on my scrambled eggs. Yes, barbecue sauce is on my turkey legs. Said it's time to get greasy. It's barbecue season. Hey, no silverware, got fingers for a reason. Hey, it's time to get greasy. It's barbecue season. Hey, no silverware, got fingers for a reason.
Yes, that's it, y'all. Listen, that song, I'm telling you, there's an app where you can actually put a beat to it and get it.
That's what
Well,
I need to do badly. It's
yes,
time.
yes, yes.
That song is a solid song.
It
And
is a solid song, and I'm going to show you how to do that because I went there to make a couple of beats for myself just recently, and it can be done, man. So a variety show host, poet, and I hear that you like to tell jokes and have a little
yeah,
comedic side to you too.
yes, I definitely, a lot of my songs that I've made, my poems are more serious, and then my songs have been a bit more lighthearted and, somewhat, joking or parodies are very revealing, but done in a joking way. So I have a song about the psych ward and my experience going there and kind of giving a twist, just like how I talked about the homeless having fun. I
Yeah,
had a ball in the psych ward, and a lot of
yeah, that's
times,
another good one. That's not, now let's talk about that for a moment. What age was you when you had your first experience with the psych ward, and what was happening in your life to cause that to happen?
I had been using hard substances, and when I say hard, it was across the gamut. You might as well ask me what I didn't do because I tried acid, mushrooms, PCP. Um, I didn't, thank God I didn't like heroin or anything like that. And I wasn't a needle user. I was putting stuff in my nose and smoking things. But
Wow. You sampled a lot of stuff. That you know what you really doing good to be as educated as you are because you're a smart young lady. Considering all the stuff
I did all of that after I got my college degree. So you talking about somebody who knew better? I literally knew better. I studied better. I was better than what I was doing. But it also humbled me to know that it can happen to anybody. And I used to look down on my mom, I think, and would judge her because of her drug use. And then so you would have it, we end up living together as adults, both addicts in active addiction. And she's in one room with her substance, and I'm in the other room with mine.
wow.
And I said, wow, you just never know how the tables of life are going to turn. And I just remember getting so upset when I came back to San Francisco. And that was 2013. And I lived with her. And all these people just loved my mom. And they were like, yeah, she was like a mom to me. I love her. She's a queen in the hood. And I was like, so y'all was having fun doing drugs with her while I was in foster care. And y'all was just having a
Wow.
ball in the hood. And I'm thinking she's having a rough life. And I come to find out she's been just fine. She got
Wow.
$11 rent. She's chilling, and she probably had a lot of demons that I could never even comprehend. But now that I've gone through my own demons, I can have more compassion for her and see the hurt and the agony behind what she chose to do to herself. And, as a byproduct, her kids, mostly being separated.
So let
But,
me ask you a question right there. Not to cut you off, but let me stop you
oh,
right
yeah, go
there.
ahead.
As a mom, do you think it's important at some point to share these things with your children so that they don't go through it or to
Yeah,
explain it?
definitely. Definitely at some point. You want to share with your kids. Zion and I have a very open relationship. Excuse me, let me blow my nose a little bit. But
Well, that's okay. That's okay. We are definitely talking to Sheila Redell. Sheila Redell is our guest for today, and she has definitely been sharing with us about her life and the things that she's been through. And we want to say thank you to her for sharing all these things because it's not easy. It's not easy to always talk about what you've been through, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And she's given us the first poem that she wrote, and we're going to bring her back so we can see what other poems and songs she wrote. She actually was getting ready to tell us about the psych ward and what was going on in her life. So I'm going to let you continue when she wrote that song, The Psych.
yeah, yeah. So
I
I
took a
found
trip
myself
to the psych
upset
ward. That's the song. I took a trip to the psych
to the
ward.
psych ward. Yeah, and the first time I went to the psych ward, I was actually outside of my mother's house wanting to get in, and she wouldn't let me in. And I was locked out and I got upset and I started throwing beer bottles at her window, and they were, protected by metal bars. So I didn't do any damage, but she called the cops on me because I was being a beyond nuisance. And the cops came And they looked at me and they were like, she's such a beautiful girl. She's just hurting. You know, we're not going to take her to jail. We're going to take her to the hospital. So that was the first time that I went. And it was because of so much mother hurt too. And just her locking me out. It's like I felt this rush of probably the pain of rejection of not living with her in the first place. And I was like, she's kicking me out. Like she's going to let me be out on the streets. And I just freaked out. And I ended up getting held in San Francisco for the first time. And, you know, they had a breakfast menu out of this world, bacon, eggs, you know, sausage patties, grits. I was ordering what I wanted to. I got my meds, started sleeping, getting vivid dreams to the point where I had a vivid dream off one of those pills, so vivid that it actually came true, like came to pass. Like I saw something and like, that's so Raven. And I had a good time there, and I felt like I was around, kind of sounds crazy, but like-minded individuals. Like we all had our artistic side. There's a lot of genius in there, you know, behind the mental illness that they call it, you know, but I wish there was a better word for it than illness, you know,
Right.
because in
Right.
some ways I like my mania. I don't want it to take over my life, but part of my mania is what has fueled my art, you know, whether it's the thoughts that I just have to get out. And, you know, my pen is, you know, manic in a way where I can keep going and going and going and keep flowing and have these rhymes and just like, it's
Yeah,
not
you're
all
good at
bad.
that. You are really good. I mean, you know how rappers can actually flow and just make a quick rap. You can do a quick spoken word piece of rap. I mean, you're gifted in that area. You're correct.
Yeah, and I've always loved it since I was little. So when I was in the psych ward experiencing it, I actually wrote the song Psych Ward and performed it for the people in the psych ward.
Did
So
you? You performed it for them? Oh, how did that happen? They had like a talent show?
oh, I just made a talent show. I said, we're doing an open mic. I'm gonna do some of my poetry. I'm gonna do my songs. And I made an open mic in the psych ward. Like I'm just that person. Like I'm gonna bring the fun and I'm gonna bring the entertainment and I'm gonna bring the joy with me in the darkest of moments. So those people that were probably they could have been very depressed, dealing with their different battles, but in those moments, in those minutes, they got to come to a different world with me, you know? And
Wow.
and I lit up the psych world.
Yeah, you know
I
what,
had
Sheila?
to.
Sheila, you have to, when you get yourself all the way where you need to be, and you need to contact those hospitals and see if you can go back in and entertain them. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen,
And show them
I'm
that you can beat
serious.
this.
I might go on tour at the psych ward. They may have a whole grant for me. You know, see if I could write a grant saying, you know, I'm someone of a survivor through the mental health system, and I want to go back and perform, you know, and see if I could get some sort of grant, artistic grant, or donations or something to build my own, you know,
Right.
nonprofit type thing. Just
So,
like they have people going to jails, you
so
know,
let
going
me do this. I'm gonna put the camera on you. I want you to do a promo. I want you to say your name, where you're from, give a little bit about your vision for what you want to do, and then give a sample or do the psych ward song, so that if there's anybody out here who would love to sponsor that or help you bring that dream to reality, they can make it happen. So let's go.
Yes, okay. I'm Sheila Redell. I have dealt with mental health issues for the last, I'd say 10 plus years. And, you know, my diagnosis is bipolar disorder and mostly with manic tendencies. But I look forward to, as I heal myself, get the tools and the wisdom that I can use to help heal others through poetry, through song, through conversation, even public speaking events. If I was able to go back into the psych ward and share my song that I wrote about my experience, which is lighthearted and joyful, but also addresses a very serious topic, and also is a way to urge people, if you do need help, there's no shame in saying, I might need a mental health break. I may need to go see some doctors that are going to pay attention to me and give me some insight on what I can do. And meds aren't for everybody, but it is something that has helped me personally, but I don't see myself wanting to be on them forever. But yes, so my goal is just to help heal through transparency. So keeping it real with Sheila Redell is encompassing of a lifestyle of just authenticity, accountability, love, community, and acceptance of self and others, and just constant evolution. Um, just Sheila, I had used to call it Sheila, She, and the Evolution, playing off Prince and the Revolution. And it's important to me that we can find some sort of healing and inner peace and go through life, um, minimizing our experiences with abuse or healing from them, just talking through trauma, things like that. I just look forward to the day when I can be traveling and saying, hey, I'm showing up to Raleigh, North Carolina, because I have a speaking assignment there, or we have a poetry event. Like, I really see this as a lifestyle where I could provide for Zion and I and give her a life of travel too, so she can learn through seeing the world. And I don't see myself with necessarily the most traditional life. I've taken these jobs and I do them because I feel like I have to, but once I set up the financial stuff and ground myself to where things are solid and full songs and not just a cappella, I don't see any reason why I won't be a really decent success story to myself, and there's no dollar amount on that, but I would just say that financial freedom to be able to provide for my daughter and I independently is the goal. So that's first and foremost, but as I do it, I still want to share my creativity. So yes, that sums it up pretty much.
So let us hear the Psych Ward song.
Yes, okay. Psych Ward goes, hey, what'd you do for vacay? I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. Hey, what'd you do for vacay? I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. Hey, popped a couple pills in the psych ward. Went to sleep and chilled in the psych ward. Ate some good meals in the psych ward. I kept it real in the psych ward. Hey, no one told me be quiet. We were in there having no riot. Free donated clothes. Swag tight, I ain't buy it. Felt like I found my tribe. So damn high I could fly. People fake on the outside. They kept it real on the inside. We were psycho like Michael. All in different fashions. Schizophrenic, bipolar. ADHD and healing. PTSD. Dual diagnoses. I was popping them pills. I was getting sleepy. Hey, Percocet, Percocet. Ativan. I need more. Something's wrong with my head. White walls, no mirrors. White walls, no mirrors. Had to take a trip away so I could see myself clearer. What'd you do for vacay? I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. Hey, what'd you do for vacay? I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. I took a trip to the psych ward. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling mad, if you can't handle thoughts, then take some time off. Pack that bag for the psych ward. You won't be bored at the psych ward. You don't do chores at the psych ward. I might go on tour through the psych wards.
Yeah.
And so I put it in the song. I might go on tour through the psych wards.
That's it. I love it. You have to speak those things as though they already are that you want in your life. And it's nice that you can laugh about it now, and you can, there's a scripture in the Bible that says all things work together for the good, that them that love the Lord. Yeah. And I hear sometimes you come on live and sometimes you give scriptures and you reference the Bible. So you have good intentions. You have a great foundation. Yes, you've been through some things, but it's going to happen for you. Don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. So ladies and gentlemen, that's Sheila Redell. And you can find her on all streaming platforms as Keeping It Real as Sheila Redell. And I'm going to make sure I put that up for you, Keeping It Real as Sheila Redell. And I'm telling you right now, Cheryl says hello. Tamiko says, hey. Hey, Tamiko. So,
Hey, Tamiko. Hey,
all
Gerald.
right. Yellow Lotus says hello. And y'all show her some love. I mean, we've seen you come through and people support you. So if there is a booking agent out there or a talent agency out there that needs it. How you doing, Lisa? Lisa's another one that's going to be coming up. Lisa's coming up next week. She's going to help us with some stocks. But listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now, everybody goes through something. And Sheila, we watched you go through a lot. We watch you melt down.
Oof.
We watch you make enemies. We watch you lose people. We watch you through your relationships. I mean, you've given us every part of you. Uh,
Oh,
any
so.
any regrets through all of this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I regret straying away from poetry, honestly. As funny as I am, I think once I started getting into the comedy streets of Instagram, it's a tough crowd, and some of the comedians, you know, I fell out with quite a few male comedians, for different reasons. And it was very traumatic. One of them in particular really sent me through something mentally. Actually, two of them, three
Wow.
of them.
So
I
maybe then you have to protect your peace and you have
and
to
I
guard
have
yourself
to.
and set boundaries.
Yeah, I have to set boundaries and I have to not take things personally, which is one of the four agreements is not taking things personally. And that's one of the agreements that I've had the hardest time with on social media in a world where everyone is entitled to their own opinions. If you put your stuff out there, and if you put yourself out there in a certain way, people have the right to say something about you, whether you like it or not. And I was taking things personally, and I would go on these rants for 4 hours because so and so said something about me, or because I didn't like the way such and such treated me on a live. And somewhere along the line, I started feeling emboldened to talk about others. And I kind of became, I wouldn't say a bully, but I was getting a little righteously rough where I thought I was right by reading people to filth, as people call it. But in the Bible, we mentioned in the word,
Yes.
love covers a suffered wrong
Yes.
and it covers a multitude of sins. And I was doing the opposite. I was shining light on everybody's sin. Like,
Wow.
since you guys already know about me, let me tell you about how everybody else is foul in the spirit and they're, manipulative and they're fake and they're this and they're that. And, you examine your own self. I'm nobody to judge. I've had, and every time that I started throwing arrows at other people, them arrows came right back on me and everybody saw it in real time. You know what I mean? I took my
Yes.
I took my karmic slaps, okay? like I've learned my lessons on some things and I'm still learning my lesson about my mouth because not everything needs to be said. And keeping it real has gone wrong for me, just like the Dave Chappelle skit. There's been many times where saying everything that was on my little monkey mind has, gone against me and I've had to pay the price. So as much
Yeah.
as my mouth has been a blessing, I've also cursed myself with certain things and I want to keep evolving to where I just speak life and my life is a reflection of God's grace. And I feel like it is even now because it's been such a growth. And, just from the time of when I was 38 to now at 41, just the things that I've accomplished inside of myself and, on the outside too.
Let me ask you a question, Sheila. How long have you been on social media, like Instagram?
Forever. Oh my goodness. But
Has it been since COVID or when did you start?
well, I started Instagram, back in the day before you even had videos on there. But as far as
Really?
going live, COVID was probably the time when I started going live the most. 2021, 2022 is
Well,
where I.
let me do this for you because I do this for all of my guests. I always give people opportunity to give people their flowers, and so I want to give you that opportunity to give people the flowers who you might have met on social media that have been there, that have supported you. So once again, I'm going to put the camera on you and give you opportunity to say, and of course, if you want to name names, you can. If you don't want to name names, if you want to make it broad, do it how you want to
Yeah.
do it. The opportunity is there because sometime maybe during your journey, right? Maybe perhaps during Sheila's journey, maybe she rubbed somebody the wrong way, or maybe somebody went the extra mile for her. So I want to give her the opportunity now, while we're doing the Sheila Redell story, to just say a thank you, or I'm sorry, or anything that she wants to say that's on her heart at this moment. So I'll give you that opportunity to and they don't have to be present because they'll go back and see this later because we'll do, of course, with the internet you have replay, so we'll give you the opportunity to say what you want to say, what's on your heart at this.
Yes. Yes. Let me freshen up
I
my
got, okay, no problem. There you go.
make sure I'm shining. Um, Toastmasters would drop me a point for that. But you know,
Oh, you went to Toastmasters. That's good.
yes, I was in
Toastmasters is a great
Toastmasters.
program. Great program.
I should probably get back in it. But I would say, first of all, thank you for the people that have followed me through this journey and have been so kind to me. Um, Instagram has been like my friend, like you might even say my best friend, because I've come to Instagram with my problems, with my joys, with my comedy, with my crying, with all the things that you would run to a close friend with. I've shared with Instagram, which is probably sick, and part of my own mental health issue is the overexposure of myself and sharing, intimate details that most people would take to the grave with them, honestly. So thank you for loving me, and the ones that haven't judged me harshly and have seen me go through a roller coaster. I just sincerely thank you. It's too many to name personally, but everybody that's in this room, I heard different names, and all of you have shown me support and have seen me through. And thank you for the private messages that I get from people who check on me when things are going rough, or, let me spill the beans on something that I want to share, but maybe I know I shouldn't go live about. It's really been a community and like a therapy in some ways. Y'all have really helped me with your feedback. You've confirmed my suspicions when I thought stuff was abusive or, inappropriate in a relationship. You guys were a way for me to feel validated in my concerns. To the platforms that have allowed me to share my gift. Shout Crystal, you've already done that before this interview. Auntie Gina's Live, The Village, I gained a really strong, loyal following after being on live with her, and people would watch me clean my room and deal with my hoarding issues, but they also watched me do the barbecue sauce song and, different little jokes and different moments. But I apologize for, the way that I've talked in the past. And I know that it wasn't necessarily right to go and air things out so much. Like if I had a grievance that bad, it was probably something that I could spoken to someone privately about. But to use it as a source of entertainment or a way to attract views, because Lord knows people love drama, but they also love edifying content too. So, I've started to learn that I want to have things that are on brand and have conversations that reflect the vision of keeping it real with Sheila Redell, not the keeping it real goes wrong part with the, more negative side of things. So just a sincere thank you. And to anyone that I've fallen out with or I've betrayed, that's a character defect in me. The gossip and the, saying things that were private and then bringing them to the public is something that I've struggled with since I was a little girl. I was oversharing. And it's one thing if you overshare about yourself, but when you bring other people into it, it's not fair because not everybody wants to be exposed, and people, I've heard some people. And so that's like a blanket empathy more than an apology, because an apology can come and go, but like to empathize and be like, I really know that I was wrong, and there's some people that really didn't deserve how I talked about them or how I treated them or the things I did, and I really see that, especially if I say I love people and I'm a lover of humanity, and then to treat people unkind or to, you know, rejoice at suffered wrong. And another thing from the Bible, love doesn't rejoice at suffered wrong. And by me ranting and raving and telling everybody where they got me messed up, I'm a theatrical woman and I was rejoicing at suffered wrong.
You are. You are.
Honey, I had a 4-hour live in my spirit every time somebody pissed me off. Honey, you could say the wrong thing to me, Crystal, and I might have liked you just fine, but you could get it too. Anybody could get it. Like anybody.
That's what you do. You just like in a minute. But that's also the bipolar in you.
It's a
bipolar. So that's why you have to make sure you keep your medicine. But let me show the people who may have just come in the room. Sheila is so gifted, man. She had the show. We're gonna work to get her show back. We're gonna work to get her own production again. But we shared it earlier, but let's show it to you again so you can see. If you didn't see, she has a channel. Let's take a peek for those who just coming in the room. I need you to see this. And
you don't want to add the www dot when you do it. Sometimes it doesn't go to it right, but it'll have a wide variety of pictures. And someone who is very close to her is on the phone. Antonio, say hello.
Hello, guys. How are we doing?
Good. Antonio is my nephew. And how you doing? What'd you call for, nephew?
I'm good, and I just want to call to welcome you to the airwaves. I know you're very excited.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And my nephew is actually a up-and-coming actor, host himself. And I saw some of his videos and it inspired me. I'm like, if he is out here at 17, you know, working hard and using the right equipment and everything, then I need to go ahead and live my dream too before it's too late and I get all old and gray and whatever else. But I'm so proud of you, nephew.
Wow.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too. I received that.
I
send it right back to you.
That too. I love you. And where are you at? Where are you calling from today?
I want to get past. I saw a part in here that was really cool. You were doing something with this guy. You did some really cool stuff here.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
So there's a possible we are the world. Could you hold my hand for a second? Because I heard Mexican people don't like black people. Is that true? I'm keeping it real. Is it true?
Well, to a certain level. No, I'm just joking. No, it's not true. We love black people.
Okay.
We love black people.
Huh? Koreans don't like me?
Koreans don't like black people? I don't know about that. I can't speak for Koreans. I work for Koreans, but...
Can I please get a Korean caller to tell me whether you like me?
So this was cool. So you actually had people calling in. You had call-ins. You had guests come. I saw somebody on stage with you. You even had a little girl there. I mean, whose idea was all this, Sheila?
This is me. That's my baby. This was the vision. I was on my track. That was my dream in real life. I had my own show and it was a variety show.
Yes, it was.
And it was my heart. And at the time I was with the man that introduced me to the crystal meth, but he was, like I said, kind of well-to-do, middle-class, seaman, white dude. And I trusted him. And he had 3 daughters. And when I first met him, he wasn't talking to the other older daughters because of the stuff that was going on with his ex. But once I got in there, his whole family reconnected and his daughters were able to be around him again. And the middle daughter, Paris, did the show with me, and she would perform the barbecue sauce song with me, and we would dress up together and have little Mexican loves, like, and these were 3 little white girls, and they it was colorblind. Like, I love those girls. I used to call them my soul babies, and it was my first taste of like a motherly love for them. I was only 30 something, and they were age 5, 9, and 15 when I first met them.
I think I saw something here. Let me see. I saw something here where you did something. Let me see if I can find that with the little girl on.
I had a little song with the lotion. Put your lotion on with your ashes, like
Okay. Let me see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see.
But with me, I have a very special young lady that I know you guys have probably seen on my page. If you look at it, at the Keeping It Real with Sheila Redell page 2, Miss Paris B. Say hello, girl.
Hi.
Hi. Well, good to see you. What have you been thinking of the show so far?
It's very funny.
Very funny. Do you understand everything we're talking about? Is it okay for kids? Can your friends watch it if they want to?
I guess so.
You guess so. Depends on what their parents are like, huh? How old are you, Paris?
9.
9. And so that makes you what? 2nd grade? No. What?
4th.
4th?
I'm going to 5th.
Okay, 5th. Yep. Speak up, girl, because we got to have them hear you.
Okay.
So now we've got to get ready. I see your flower fell out. Now, and also for you guys that don't know, this is going to be my step baby one day if all things go well with the Faja. So far, so good. And the other one is here too, or she was. Is she still here? Destiny? She snuck out on me. Anyway, she was about to get called up here, but she done missed her little moments. Let me, we're going to do a quick getting ready segment. It's going to take like 2 minutes because I got to put this flower back in little lady's hair. So I'm going to show y'all how I do my twist real quick. And as y'all know, I have another side of me. Her name is Weavy Wonder. And she is just the one that knows how to do hair. So this is something Weavy Wonder would do. Just sit here and go ahead and put a whole twist in this little girl's hair. But Paris, what do you do at school? Are you in any dancing?
And Crystal, you literally were doing hair back then too. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. If you get to the end of it, we do a little funny thing at the end. Oh yeah, there you go.
I saw it. Hold on one moment.
You don't think I'm gonna be good enough? I'm gonna try. Let me see how that looks. Oh, girl, look at you in the mirror. You look like the spitting image of me. Don't we look alike? Yes, I'm just chocolatey and she's vanilla. We look alike. Just playing. Say hi to your mommy.
Hi.
Because you know she's watching. Hello. But yes, I mean, I would say that we get along very well. Did you want to try any fruit, Paris? You want to try the spicy fruit?
No.
No? Oh my gosh. Paris, tell them your birthday. Just in case they want to send you a present.
My birthday's on August 1st.
August 1st, and that makes you a little Leo. So did you recognize your name sign, the sign, when we were talking about a Leo earlier?
Yes.
Yes, that means she is a little superstar, which means I don't know how often she can be on the show because I don't want her to steal all my spotlight. Like, it's kind of tough, but I think she could be on Disney or something. You think it already happened just because people be commenting on your.
So this little girl, you gave her opportunities to get on the TV show. That's amazing because what you did was you probably lit a fire in her.
Yeah, she's doing so good. She follows me. I follow her on Instagram, and she's graduated culinary school, and she's going into business administration with hospitality. And I'm just so proud of her. And I remember one time she said, I thought you were going to be famous. Like you were almost famous. And I'm like, maybe one day, it's not so much about fame, but really spreading the message because I feel like I have something unique to offer that, everybody has something that they're gifted at, but I just feel like my ability to connect with people and share real moments and joke around, but get serious and, just sway between those two mediums. I just feel like it's something that if I use it wisely and, God sees fit, I don't see why, it won't be discovered when I'm ready. And I think all the things I've gone through and all the trips to the psych ward and different things will have it by the time that the abundance comes to me and the dollars start getting bigger, I'll be ready to handle it with care and, wisdom. And not squander things. Because imagine if I would have got on SNL while I had a meth addiction and I had a bunch of money to do all the crystal meth I wanted to. I might not be on the planet. So things work out how they work out, and I just thank God for recovery. And I'm still in an active, healing through different things. And social media has been like a crack pipe or a meth pipe in my case. Because I hit it so much, especially when I get caught up in getting a lot of feedback. So
that's amazing.
In the morning.
We're going to bring it to life. I think Gina or Ja, one of them is here because I see her channel lit up. But let's go back and look at this a minute. This is the scene with you and the little girl where you were doing something. Let's look.
We are the best of yes, you'll see. We're heading for the victory. We're on our way
never stop. Yes.
Just sit
Back and enjoy the
seat.
sweet and
Paris B just can't
be beat. Whoa. Yeah, I did good, didn't I? No? No? Could you do it better than me?
I think I just did it.
Paris, I'm done with you. I've seen enough of you. You go take a seat. Thank you very much. I'm ready to take another caller. You just hurt my feelings so bad. I thought I liked you, Paris.
You fell.
I did not fall. I just did a dip it low and pick it up slow. That's what that was, just because you didn't recognize the move. But give me a hug. Future stepmama still loves you. And I love the flower in your hair. All right, give me Hollywood hands. And I won't let you mess this up for me. I'm a cheerleader.
Yes, honey.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
I thought you were gonna go to the end of the show where she had the grand finale.
Okay, well, let's go. Is it after the commercial?
It's right it's towards the end of the show. Like she comes up to the set to do one last thing before she leaves. I
Is
don't
it
know.
after these commercials? You can see.
Yeah, after the commercials, probably. Yeah.
Oh, let me see.
You're watching CentralValleyTalk.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
No, that was the end, so that's not it. Let's see if we can find it. I'm gonna
Maybe
see if I
before
can
that
find
commercial.
it. And definitely.
Hi, welcome to Keeping It Real with Sheila Redell. We're live here today on this beautiful Thursday evening. It's Fresno Art Talk.
I love the way you started out with that. Hold on, I gotta show it. You know it, but y'all gotta see this. This girl had her own show. She had her own show. I'm telling you.
Day, and we're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to be having a special music guest named Ruby Red, and she does R&B, kind of taking you back to the 90s era, like the TLCs and the SWVs and that type of soul. And we also have a great segment on hair that we're going to be doing. And I'm going to be taking calls, reading some Facebook responses on what has been your relationship with your hair. And if you notice today, things are a little bit wild. I decided to do all rainbow twist. We've got, what is this? Red, pink, blue, green, purple, white, and some twist over here too, just for originality.
So what is it that you would like to do now? We bring back a show live now. What's the vision now? Now that you've seen how that worked, we reproduce a show now. What is the vision in 2026?
I would say just to have more of a purpose relating to healing. I don't know how much of the sketch comedy I would want to do with it, but maybe have a part of it be that, but pretty similar to what you saw, just maybe add more serious conversations on certain topics that I might want to shine a light on, whether it be mental abuse or domestic violence or family relational issues,
Wow.
foster care, drug abuse. There's so many things that can be chopped up and dove into on a real level, and also a way to have it go in between serious and then some lighthearted, so you're not necessarily overwhelmed by one certain emotion.
Okay. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how we're going to bring it back, and we're going to look into it. I want to give you the opportunity, if there's any more talent that you wanted to show them, whether it's a poem or anything else, a song or anything you want to do before we close out of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sheila Redell, and we want to also let them know that you do have a book that's going to be coming out and how they can place pre-orders for the book, if that's going to be a possibility. So I want to give you the opportunity to do those.
Yes, we'll have that. Charm Through Adversity. The title just basically means that through it all, I've been charmed and blessed and favored through adversity, through the issues with drugs, through single motherhood, through abuse, domestic violence. I was always the type that would leave as soon as your hands got put on me, but I stayed around for a lot of mental and emotional abuse for longer than I should have. So my goal is to help people elevate and and get beyond that. So I would like to share my poem, Mental Abuse, which basically goes through it. I'll let the poem explain itself. Um, Sheila, don't grow your hair out in an afro. It doesn't look neat or professional. You need a weave to be real pretty. No, 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 Sheila, don't get a weave because then they're going to think you're fake. No, 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 no. Get dreadlocks. That'll show you're really black and you're really in touch with yourself. All these different voices inside of my head. Who do I listen to? What do I choose? I did not know my true value or the value of others on a deep level. The deceit made life seem unbearable, my self-esteem terrible. Terribly confused, never got the news that I don't deserve mental abuse, and neither do you. We were wonderful as created. Our life experiences may have had this truth tainted, but I don't deserve mental abuse, and neither do you. But still, we give and take it. A vicious cycle, and I aim to help break it. I search deep internally and express truth when I speak. To keep lying is weak. If a house is broken down, deal with the foundation underneath instead of just judging what you see. See, each deed is bloomed fruit from an initial seed. The seed that was planted previously grew from roots subconsciously, allowed to breathe mentally, reinforced verbally. Lies disguised by self as truth and reality are nonsense. Seeds thriving and surviving in a garden we can't physically see. Yet spiritually we know it exists indeed, like when what we like to do makes us feel guilty. Where did we learn to see aspects of our nature as filthy? We need to sweep up the real dirt, the dirt of poison thoughts that cause hurt. But instead of cleansing, we reuse these filthy rags, those internal nags that tell you everything that's wrong with you. The same ones that cause tension when brought to our attention. The sad song we keep playing in our hearts, but we can't stand to hear the lyrics be mentioned, so filled with good intention. But sometimes our actions and our feelings, they come into collision. It's those things we don't like mentioned, we need to shine a light on so we don't continue to relive them. I see this negativity manifested daily. The person who's so conscious and aware, yet they're told that they're crazy. So now they hide their observations and fear is sounding hasty. We need to stop the flight of negativity, switch terminals, fly a different plane. We'll never get better if our thinking remains the same. Listen attentively to the conversations in your brain. What does your conscience always say? Do you hear a harsh critic or a bestower of praise? Do you call yourself kind or unkind names? Do you rightfully take responsibility or do you wrongfully give or take blame? I encourage us to give a voice to the little boy or girl inside of us that just wants to be heard, the one who was told to be quiet and that their ideas were absurd, the one that wanted to defend themselves but didn't utter a word, the one who thought they were worthless when they were more precious than a pearl. See, sometimes the way we feel about ourselves can be a reflection of opinions from the world. Reevaluate what you've heard. Broken, old, dusty records need to be burned. If it isn't a reflection of love and light, it needs to go out with a dash, out as fast as funky trash. We all have infinite beauty and value. Don't hold on to ways that don't match. And please stop beating yourself up for the past. And please, Sheila, stop beating myself up for the past. And quit longing for demise relationships. There's a reason it didn't last. And if it's something meant to be, you'll get it back, but just retract from anything that subtracts from those given facts. Throw it back like a fish you're not trying to catch. Stop, don't eat. Thinks of hate as rotten meat. The things we intake and feed each other need to be carefully screened. Satisfying, healthy mental meals are all we need to eat and feed one another. Be careful of the dishes we serve each other. We hold the ability to plant seeds with our words. So take the time to heal and face what makes you feel insecure. And in all things, know your worth and consider this truth. Not one of us deserves to be abused. We don't deserve. Thank you for letting me share that.
Yes, most definitely. We appreciate you sharing that for sure. We want to give you that opportunity. Sheila, we appreciate you being here. Anything that I didn't ask you that you want to tell the people? A lot of times I'm asking questions and we're going through everything. And I want the people out here, they're showing you love. And let's see who this is. This is Shelly Bradshaw. She said, thanks for the reminder. She was talking to I guess she was talking to somebody. Oh, hit the like button. Yeah, please do. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button. we are here to help share your stories and do that. And Sheila, we appreciate you being here. We know you have a little cold that the children gave you and everything.
Yes, I'm getting through it. I hope it wasn't too sniffle ridden. I was trying to cover it up and hold back, but yes, I'm gonna be fine. I just nothing, a little bit of rest and some TLC
No
won't
problem.
do.
But we're going to give you the opportunity to give closing comments again, to say thank you to anybody, whether it's the young lady, that anybody who's been there for your life.
Yes,
I
and
say,
my friend, I don't know if she's gonna see this, but Melanie, I don't know if she wanted her name out there. I see, I'm working on it. But the person that I'm living with now, she opened her home to Zion and I when I, for this final stint at the psych ward, I got out and I didn't really know where I was gonna go. And before she had even slept the first night in her own apartment that she had just got, she allowed
wow.
me and my daughter to be the first ones to even sleep there. So now coming summer, it's going to be time to go because, she's helped out a lot, but it's time to move on to the next phase of life. So I just ask for prayers and positive thoughts as I, navigate this journey towards independence with my daughter. And I've already made steps with getting the car and securing the jobs. And we all know Sheila can get a job. Now, how well do I keep the job? I'm getting better, but still. The point is, I'm always going to keep trying. And that's my message, is just don't give up on yourself and don't give up on people you love that you see struggling, because there's hope. If I can change, anyone can change. And there's still things that I'm looking to elevate from. And I will be a witness and a testimony. I will share what I know and share what I don't know and hope to find out. This life is precious and our time is limited, and I just want to make sure I give it all away.
Hmm.
And I give it all away. And
Wow.
hopefully it won't be for free forever and we'll start being able to put some dollar signs on my gifts. But I've given a lot of my pearls, but I've also gotten a lot of support. A lot of people don't have people to necessarily talk to about certain things, and all I got to do is hit the live button, and I've got at least 10 people that are willing to give me advice or give me encouragement or give like a virtual hug to me when I'm sad. I don't take it for granted, the community that I've built, and I hope that people feel the love from me, and know that it wouldn't be a Keeping It Real with Sheila Redell if nobody was watching, so I appreciate it. And I hope that you get something from my transparency, whether it be entertainment or learning about something from yourself or learning about one of your family members, helping them understand, you understand what they're going through, like sharing my hoarding issues. Now, if you have someone who's a hoarder, you might see some of the psychology of it, or why it's hard to get rid of certain things, or what are the underlying issues. So that's it. Look forward to the book and completion and getting it out there and just manifesting the dream. And it's already happening. This is a dream, to be interviewed by you. You're serious business, Crystal. You got your book already out, hard copy. I'm so proud of you. And you're an inspiration and a role model, and you show me never to quit, and just to keep going. So my flowers to you. And, both of my mothers, my birth mother and my foster mother, my birth mother gave me my flesh, and, parts of her spirit are in my spirit. And my foster mom, my mom, gave me a beautiful childhood where I was well traveled, well eaten, very various cuisines, very cultured. She even went to Kwanzaa as a white woman just so I could have the experience of going to Kwanzaa events. I had a really beautiful childhood, and my adulthood it's been a roller coaster, but I feel like it's not going to be all for nothing, and I pray I can help people get free from the addictions, whether it's hard drugs, eating addictions, social media addiction. As I free myself, I hope to emancipate others. Not me, myself, but God. And, if people don't believe in God, you could just add an extra O and put good. Like if you believe in the goodness of life, and that there's hope, because I've definitely seen the good. just as
Yeah,
much as
you
I.
had the best of both worlds here. When I look
Yeah.
at the picture and I see how you had both moms, and shout out to your mother, shout out to your birth mother and the lady who raised you as your mom when you were having this baby. It is so important that we acknowledge everybody who contributes in our life. And some people will have challenges, and sometimes they don't get it 100% right. But we still want to acknowledge her for bringing you into the world and giving you life. So shout out to both of these women for the
Yeah.
job they did in you. And Sheila, I want to just give you once again your flowers for just making the progress that you've made, taking accountability for everything that you've done, and just continuing to fight, continuing to try to get better, continuing to do what you need to do, and you'll be okay one day at a time. One day
Yeah.
at a time. That's what we have to do, one day at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Sheila Redell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Follow her on all streaming platforms. On all streaming platforms, follow her, and we thank you and we appreciate you for being here, and we love you. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I am your Hope Catalyst. You can follow me at Shout Crystal. You can follow me at Storytime with Shout Crystal. And we want to say thank you once again. Don't forget, you can see us on many, many places, okay? Many places we'll be there, okay? So we want to let you know that. So we want to just close out with a little commercial real quick, and we're going to be on our way. All right, everybody, are you ready? This is Crystal. I am so excited to have you here on Storytime. I want you to know that now you can be seen and heard. Yes, Storytime has expanded, and you will be able to see yourself streaming live on multiple platforms. So come on over and get with us and check it out. I want you to go ahead and schedule your interview, and you never know where they might find you online. So, thank ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be changing our time for story time, so we're going to start coming back. You've been watching Sheila Redell. You've been looking at Sheila Redell. I want to say thank you again. God bless you, Sheila. We love you. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives as your Hope Catalyst. So I want to say keep hope alive. Thank you.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.